So I've been gaming with the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition for the past 2 weeks, and I can confidently say this is the greatest mouse currently out on the market.
Catching fire as the wind blows. I know that I'm rich enough for pride. I see $1 billion in your eyes. Even if we're strangers till we die.
So as for my current configuration of the mouse, I have side grips applied for both sides. These are thinner than the Infinity skins that I was used to from the Starlight Pro. However, these fit the mouse very good. It is a very thin grip that only helps with the gripability of the mouse. It doesn't affect the shape whatsoever. And especially for sweaty hands, these grips help a lot. For when you'll have to lift the mouse up and readjust on your mouse pad, these help tremendously. I try to game without the side grips on, and these mouse would just slip out of my hand when I try to grip it and readjust, so I have to hold it really tight. However, with these side grips on, I don't have to do that. I can hold it how I usually hold it and readjust the mouse and lift it off easily. However, I do not have side grips applied on the buttons themselves, as it gives me an instant actuation feel when I don't have any grips and I'm just making direct contact with the mouse clicks. And for my software configs, and this is the software config of the mouse. I have just the default profile, everything the same, and I have the indicator LED on battery status, as it will show me how much battery I have left, so I know when to charge it. And on performance, I have the DPI set to 1600. I was playing on 800 before I had the mouse. However, I switched to a higher DPI because I'm using a higher pulling rate. And I've heard it is good to switch to a higher DPI when you're using a higher pulling rate so you can actually feel the difference. So I have deleted all the sensitivity stages, left only 1600 DPI, so I can't mistakenly switch to a different DPI. And I have the pulling rate set to 4000. This is what I play on and what I just use the mouse regularly on 4000. I have tried the 8000 hertz pulling rate. I can't feel much of a difference from the 4000 to the 8000. However, the 8000 hertz pulling rate drains the battery much faster, so I would just recommend to leave it on 4000. And for the power settings, I have it on default. It goes to sleep after 5 minutes of ideal, and I don't have low power mode on because I'm using a pulling rate higher than 2000 hertz. And for my calibration, I have on the lowest liftoff distance, as I believe the lowest liftoff distance is the best, because I do this thing where I lift off my mouse and readjust the sensor position so I can so I don't have to swipe off my entire mouse pad, and I can just readjust using my wrist. So I believe the lowest liftoff distance is the best if you use this mechanics. As for the performance of the mouse, this is the best performing mouse I've ever laid my hands on. The 4K hertz is definitely life-changing, as I'm coming from the Starlight Pro 10s and the G Pro Wireless. Both are 1K hertz mouse, and I can definitely feel the 4K hertz in my hand. It feels super responsive, and I can physically feel the input latency difference from a 1K hertz mouse. This mouse low-key aims itself. It only took me one deathmatch to get used to the 4K hertz and the mouse shape coming from the Starlight Pro 10s small, and I have matched MVP'd every single ranked game right after. My teammates sometimes even asked me if I was cheating because it felt that great and that crisp in game. Here's some of the clips.
Too slow.
That's not ready.
Down A. One enemy remaining.
Teleport's ready.
What's so funny?
Yeah, how'd you shoot him? I didn't even see the guy, bro.
I didn't. My mouse have aim locks. Yeah, so the performance of this mouse is definitely the best selling point of the mouse, and why I think it might be worth the price tag, because of the 4K hertz pulling rate and even the 8K hertz pulling rate support makes this mouse such a crisp feel in game.
CT in this one.
Now let's talk about the battery life. As I'm using the 4K Hertz pulling rate, I only need to charge about once a week. No issues with use. Sleep mode is fantastic. When I'm not gaming, it's usually sleeping, and it wakes up instantly when I just grab the mouse again. And I never need to turn it off. The dongle is fantastic as the LED shows the battery life percentage. Compared to Starlight Pro 10s, I had no idea when the mouse was gonna die. So with this one, I have a clear idea of if I need to charge the mouse or not. However, I have not been using the 8K Hertz pulling rate that often, and I know if you're using the 8K Hertz pulling rate, you might want to charge your mouse every day or even every few hours as it drains the battery substantially. Now let's talk about the quality control. I had no issues with the clicks, no issues with the scroll wheel, no issues with the chassis, no issues with the sensor, side buttons, no issues at all. It felt like the best mouse I've ever felt in game and outside of the game. It makes me want to use the mouse more often. It makes me want to play more games on it. It just feels that fantastic. The holes, it did take me around a game or two to get used to the holes, but after I got used to them, I've never noticed the holes, and I am used to the weight as I'm coming from a similar weight from the Starlight Pro. However, these clicks and the sensor and the 4K Hertz pulling rate just feels amazing. So if you're not using a mouse that supports 4K Hertz pulling rate or even 8K Hertz pulling rate, then you need to go get a mouse that supports 4K Hertz pulling rate ASAP, because I can physically feel the difference coming from 1K Hertz to 4K Hertz. Compared to something like the 360 Hertz and 240 Hertz monitor, I can feel much more of a difference on the mouse input latency and click latency. So if you're still on the 1K Hertz mouse, I definitely suggest you to check out mouse with 4K Hertz pulling rate support. And there are a lot currently out on the market. However, this Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition is the one I recommend, as it also supports 8K Hertz pulling rate, which is even more insane than 4K Hertz. So that is it for the review. If you want to check out the unboxing video, I have that posted. And I have the LG G Saturn Pro mousepad review also posted if you want to check that out. Peace.